I'm in Cleveland. I was invited to do a talk on mindfulness, stress, health, and well-being to a bunch of new doctors, which was a privilege, great privilege. With these doctors who knew way more than me about stress and the physiological response of stress. I added the component of breathing and mindfulness to it, and it was a fascinating inquiry. So as we get triggered with something, an emotion rises, and that emotion could be joy, happiness, but there also could be emotions on the other side, frustration, fear, anger, and when those emotions rise, stress can rise along with that, and the stress hormones can get pumped into our blood, cortisol, adrenaline, and which is a way that we are trained to cope with whatever situation that we're facing. However, uh, if the stress levels are going to stay on for a longer time, it can affect our health and well-being in the long run. I introduced the practice of mindfulness and meditation of a way of bringing in the breath when the trigger happens, for instance, and then becoming aware as the stress response rises to mitigate it somewhat by an intentional focus on the breath, and the body then realizes that I have taken some control over it. So I'm moving my autopilot response in the autonomic nervous system from the sympathetic arousal system to the parasympathetic nervous system. So there I take control by the fact that I take a deep breath. So when I meditate for a long time, I get in the habit of being able to focus on the breath when when I need it the most, at the heat of the moment. So this is an interesting practice that we discussed and we inquired into, and and that's where I really believe that the mindfulness practice is a very elegant practice to deal with stress, because what we are doing is we are aligning the mind and the body using the breath as the bridge. And then when the mind and the body are together, we're able to best cope with our stressful situations, because we now have the power of intention right there to work with too.